Hey everybody, what's going on? It's wilkyb, and this is a video of my critique of the internet and typically the communities that you go to and the places that you'll find where people gather in mass to discuss their hobbies that they think that they enjoy. That they think that they enjoy. I can't help but notice, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way, is that people go to these hobbies like in gaming communities or even just like discussion boards and like subreddits and stuff. Where if you express your honest opinion with people, then you'll just get treated like shit. In a lot of communities, if you don't follow the trend or like the moderation, the philosophy of that Discord and the people who run it, you just get treated like shit. And usually, the way you get treated is like in the most insecure way possible. In my experience, on two games that are run by the public community. These are old, outdated games that have been adopted by the community because the original makers of the game don't support it. And that is Advance Wars by Web and W3 Champions. And on the whole here, W3 Champions, there's only a couple of moderators who I disagree with, and the guys at W3 Champions, they do a great job. And same with Advance Wars by Web, is like the service that they provide is good, but the moderation is really bad. Which is not the fault of either of the platforms, because they're the only places that host these games, so you can't really complain. Which is basically the theme of this video, is that you go to these places where there are these moderators who, they understand the circumstances that people are in when they go to that server, is that there's nowhere else that you can go. And people these moderators take full advantage of that. And in my experience, these moderators are the last people who you ever want to communicate with. Like, these are like the subreddit neckbeard moderators who will kick you out if you ever suggest that immigration is a problem in the world these days. Like, it's crazy. So if you say certain words within these subreddits where the opinion is perfectly valid, and in your experience in life, you just get neglected completely. Because it's not the right words that you're using, and unfortunately, the best way to solve things is to speak of them directly rather than beating around the bush, which is what a lot of people in these discussion boards do. Is they'll bring up all sorts of things that aren't really related to maybe a replay that you're looking at, or like you got banned because you quote unquote griefed somebody in a team game that you're playing. Like, there's so much room for interpretation when it comes to griefing and banning somebody for that. But anyways, just these moderation channels is like, people make really poor judgments all the time, and then they'll double down on that judgment by mocking that person. And what happens, I can't help but notice this, in both of these communities, W3 Champions and Advance Wars by Web and their Discords, is that there's basically a mafia of people who are behind the moderation and the poor judgments and the nasty name calling that they do, because they don't want to be treated the same way. And so what happens is, it perfectly explains this kind of a video as well, is the same people who I'm talking about, they hate it when people call them out for their poor judgment because they're not very self-reflective. And then they'll watch a video like this, or they'll read an opinion of mine about a poor judgment that they've made, and then they ban me. So Dark from W3 Champions has banned me because I called him and other people out who are part of their mafia, their buddy group. I called them out for being antisocial, for mocking people who reveal their face on camera because they're insecure about revealing their own face and expressing their own opinions on camera. So it's just crazy that these people just keep burying their feet deeper and deeper in the sand. And they have like a posse that they've developed, and they think it's really funny, and it's just really tragic, honestly. The fact that like this is their power trip in life, I guess, like, it's just really strange. So yeah, really weird communities where people just trip on power. That's the internet these days, is people who are unpaid to moderate the world the way that they see it. And unfortunately, I can't help but notice that people who are not paid for their philosophy that they enact unto other people are usually fucking morons. Like, if you're not being paid to do something, you're not very motivated to do it differently than the way that only you see it being done. So a lot of open source projects and stuff have this problem where leadership is an issue, and nobody can take the reins in these kinds of communities because it's built off of volunteer work, and nobody wants to do all of this work unless you have a huge ego or something. I don't even know what it is. I can't comment, but yeah, that's what I have to say about this in this video. Lots of discussions on the internet just end up in really nasty places. And on the internet, it's the perfect place where you can develop an echo chamber, because these people who don't show their faces, who are super insecure, can just create a new account after they've been banned or something like that. Like, the internet is such a shady place. It's just amazing. So yeah, so it attracts the kind of people who make it to the top because they are that kind of a person who is willing to go to those kinds of lows and commit to it, and collect all kinds of other people who are committed to that kind of a thing, because that's the thing that they enjoy the most, is that game. People actually crave for games like it's dopamine, like it's something that they need, like a drug. So that's a really strange situation, and now we're getting kind of controversial and personal here, so I'll end the video there. Okay? Thank you, guys. Adios. Cheers.